Welcome back. American energy independence in focus here at the RNC, the Republican National Convention, as oil and gas prices soar under President Biden. The price of oil is up better than 51% since Biden walked into the Oval Office in January of 2021. Gasoline prices up better than 46%. Here's what some RNC speakers had to say about this over the last 2 days. Watch.
We will unleash American energy and flood the world with clean, cheap American oil and gas. Drill, baby, drill. We will.
Biden and Harris outsourced our energy supply, driving electricity prices up over 29%. Our platform says we will make America energy dominant. You know who will make that happen? Donald Trump.
If you're watching this tonight, you know our country is in trouble. When you fill up your gas tank, you're pissed. I know I am. And you know in your heart it was not like this under Donald Trump.
They've eroded the American energy dominance that President Trump delivered. Joe Biden approved the Nord Stream pipeline for Russia, but he killed the Keystone pipeline here at home. Biden let Iran and Venezuela export their oil, but he stopped liquefied natural gas exports here in America.
Joining me now, Continental Resources founder and chairman Harold Hamm with us. Continental Resources is a top 10 independent oil producer in the U.S. and a leader in America's energy renaissance. Harold, it's great to see you this morning.
Yeah, it's good to see you.
Thank you so much for being here. What is your reaction to what you just heard from here, the speakers?
Well, all of them basically saying the same thing. We have to have a strong energy policy for America. You know, national security means everything for our country, and we have to get back to that sound policy. We've got an administration that have vowed to shut down all fossil fuels, and, you know, they've made it very difficult on everybody in this business.
Yeah, I mean, Harold, look, the climate change agenda is the priority for Joe Biden. And as a result of that, they've instituted lots of new rules and regulations. Tell me about the regulatory backdrop and what kind of an impact it's had on your company.
Well, they've done everything they can to shut down production and growth of energy in America. And certainly it has hurt. I mean, every rule that they can think of, and they've got so many more, it's unreal. It's just unheard of, you know, all the regulation they poured out.
So on a practical basis, what are those regulations? I know that it's gotten, I've spoken with the CEO of Chevron, who talked about the inability to get the permitting done, leases. Is that what you're talking about? What other regulations specifically have been hampering growth?
Well, the first thing they did is take all federal lands off the table. You know, that's 26% of the land mass in America, about 35% of the productive capacity. They took all that off and basically have not been providing leases nor permitting on those. So, you know, it's tremendous. That alone, plus all the other regulations, from methane to you name it, that they piled on and continue to pile on.
President Trump has talked a lot about the energy industry and independence in energy being not just economic, but also national security. This is a national security issue, as you just mentioned. Talk to us about former President Trump's energy accomplishments and how they compare to the failures that you've seen in this last 4 years under Biden. Yeah,
well, President Trump was pro-energy. You know, there's no secret to that. He wanted to see the development, you know, bringing down prices to consumers, and it worked, which meant more supplies of both oil and gas in America. And certainly that worked. And, you know, it continued what was started 30 years ago with horizontal drilling and brought about the energy renaissance that America enjoys today. So, you know, President Trump was just different daylight and dark as far as with this administration.
So what do you make of Senator J.D. Vance now being named President Trump, choosing him as his running mate? He's expected to be an ally for the oil and gas industry. Here's what Vance said about American energy on Hannity this week on Monday. Watch this.
You've got to unleash American energy. President Trump is so strong on this. We had energy independence. Joe Biden has destroyed it. We could have energy dominance. We could be the main source of energy in the world.
For Europe, our allies?
Absolutely. And that would actually weaken Russia and Iran and some of these other regimes. But we're sitting on the Saudi Arabia of natural gas in Ohio and Pennsylvania. Joe Biden would rather buy the stuff from Iran than buy it from Pennsylvania workers. It doesn't make an ounce of sense.
Your reaction to that, Harold?
Yes, certainly. Well, he's from an oil-producing state, important oil-producing state, Ohio, and he certainly understands the situation, and of course his reaction is exactly right on.
Yeah, but Harold, don't these projects take a long time to implement? I mean, these are long-term projects. When you look at the growth of Continental Resources, those areas that you are banking on have been in place for years and will continue to be, right? How long is it going to take us to get out of where we are now in terms of no energy independence?
Well, first of all, you can overcome all those executive orders almost immediately and get that set aside, those that he put in. The permitting, federal lands, all those. So, that can turn around really quick. Shale production, it's high cost. Oil and gas production is. So it does take some time. You can't just do it at the drop of a hat. It takes 6 months to a year to really get going.
So what does that mean to the rest of the world if you were to see America once again become energy independent and start selling oil, producing oil here, as well as selling it overseas? What does that mean for some of our adversaries, like Russia, for example, or Iran?
Well, certainly for Iran, it could mean a big difference, and Russia as well. I mean, that is our competition. So, that it can set them back, if you will, instead of having them on the number one place. When Biden wanted more oil, he didn't call the producers in the U.S. He called Maduro in Venezuela. He called the Ayatollah,
Wow.
For more oil. So how absurd is that?
So what are we supposed to do? Be reliant on Maduro in Venezuela and Iran and the Ayatollah for energy in America?
Well, we can see how it worked out with Iran.
Wow.
It just made a war country out of that again.
Do you believe that we're looking at these prices, Brent at 83.97 and crude oil at 81.13? Do you believe that prices are elevated as a result of the lack of American energy on the world market?
Well, it's really not. I wouldn't say it's really elevated. It's really pretty cheap. Natural gas, $2.17. That's below the cost of supply.
Okay.
$81, that barely gets us there with oil. So, we're suffering from inflation like everybody else. We've had 25% inflation in our business just like everybody else did.
Right.
So, yeah, the cost of supply is up there.
Why do you think inflation has skyrocketed under Joe Biden?
Oh, man, it's a giveaway. It's all Overspending. Mm-hmm. He just continues to. Last week, a couple of billion more for EV producers, electric vehicles. I mean, what was that all about?
Yeah. So what's most important, do you think, in terms of the energy agenda of President Trump? What do you want our viewers to understand about that agenda?
Well, I think viewers should understand that he wants to produce more clean, abundant energy. We've lowered the emission in this country for over 40%.
Yeah.
So we have the cleanest air in the world, and he's done it right. It's what we're doing now is not correct.
Yeah.
In fact, it just goes against everything we know.
All really great points. Harold, we so appreciate your time this morning.